nothing that has happened to me from the day I left for the United States Navy to now is comparable to what happened to me from the age of 0 to 10 years old. So it's always just a challenge. In my head, I'm built for this. I am of no concern. I will win no matter what, because you can't break me, you can't beat me. The worst thing you can do to me is kill me. And even then, when I go, I believe my legend is already set in stone.
Welcome to the Your Peak Life podcast. Let's conquer the summit of life and reach the apex of our potential.
All right, welcome to another episode of Your Peak Life podcast. Today we're going to talk about passion, pain, and purpose.
And no crying this episode.
Absolutely not.
No crying.
Man, I don't know. Those are touchy subjects, though.
Yeah, so I
Do it straight-faced.
instantly, when we discussed the topic, or the first thing that popped in my mind was my relationship with my father. My relationship with my father kind of shaped my life. I didn't have a good relationship with him. Like, throughout my childhood, he wasn't around. Not to the extent of being an active parent. And I used that for most of my life to give me that purpose, right? And I kind of used that pain to get me to the next level. You know, I used that when I had my children to be everything that he wasn't. And it kind of I took that pain and that became the passion. I was passionate. You know, you guys know I'm passionate about being a parent. I love my children, you know. And then I used that pain, it became the passion, and really is ultimately my purpose, right, is to leave that legacy. And I've used that even in real estate. You could use the same, you know, go through it, fail over and over houses, and you use that to motivate you. You know, it becomes your passion, and ultimately the service, you know.
And he came out the gate with the whole
Deep. I mean, what do you
dad
want?
energy, man.
I mean,
well,
it was the first thing that popped in my mind, right? When you say that, like when you take your pain, right, to passion and then purpose, that's instantly. For the majority of my life, no one called me Edwin because of that. I didn't want people even calling me Edwin. I didn't want to be associated.
Is that where the June came from?
That is where the June came from. That's why before real estate, no one called me Edwin. No one even knew my name was Edwin. It was June. Junebug, Junito, or Rodriguez, you know, from my Navy friends. But all of that now, you know, my relationship is phenomenal with my father after I've been an adult. And I kind of got more comfortable with Edwin is just a professional. And it just stuck. You know, people call me Edwin or June, interchangeable.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's kind of how I relayed or how I interpreted the message immediately when we started. You know, this is our topic.
Is it on me?
It's on whoever wants to talk.
Well, I mean, because you started there, I mean, obviously, that's exactly where I go. But it's not just my father. It's both my parents. It's like those three words are literally my life. I don't even know how to explain it. Both of my parents are dead from heroin overdoses. Neither one of them raised me. So I've used that in the opposite way that most people would. Most people succumb to that life or that environment. Most people use it as an excuse. There's that 1% that uses it for the opposite. I don't know how it got in me, but it's there. Everything I do is to not be that. Literally everything. Like, and anything bad that happens, I take it as a challenge. Like, it's nothing that has happened to me from the day I left for the United States Navy to now is comparable to what happened to me from the age of 0 to 10 years old. So it's always just a challenge. In my head, I'm built for this. I am of no concern. I will win no matter what, because you can't break me, you can't beat me. The worst thing you can do to me is kill me. And even then, when I go, I believe my legend is already set in stone. But I use that for everything. They said I couldn't be a sailor. Killed it. They said I couldn't play basketball. I'm pretty good. They said I couldn't do real estate. Killed it. Said I couldn't lift weights. I'm pretty strong for a guy my size. You know, like it's just
They say you everybody Latina. Check.
But I mean, it's all of that, man. Like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. You know, like people put limitations on you, and they have no idea what you've been through in life. And I never intended to lose. The moment I left the house, the Navy was never the last stop. I did well at it, but quite frankly, I'm glad it ended the way it did because it also gave me another challenge. When a captain with 30 years of service looks at you and says he's going to test your mettle, and you walk out the room and laugh, you don't fucking know me, dude. You're testing who? This is nothing. If anything, I'm on vacation and y'all are still paying me because I didn't have to outwork everybody anymore and get paid the same as them. I didn't have to listen to people who aren't qualified to do what they're doing tell me what to do anymore. I could go work for myself. So the way the end of my Navy career went down as also a struggle to keep my dignity and respect and my honorable discharge, that fueled me into this. That fueled me, and also going through a divorce at that time, right? So all of that fueled me to get better as a man, get better as a partner, a father, a realtor, a broker, a owner, a leader, a mentor, like all of those things. And my let says you're most qualified to help who you used to be. In my situation, I just so have happened to have been a lot of things. An orphan, a foster child, homeless, poor. But then there was a point in the Navy where it's like, I'm 28. I got $1 million worth of property. I made chief petty officer first time up. I'm selling houses successfully. So life was good. And then it all got pulled out from under me again, right? So, and then we came and did this and built this. So it's everything that ever happened to me, I have, that's probably my gift, to be honest. The ability to take that bad situation and that pain and turn it into a positive result for everybody around me.
Dope.
So, that's the best way I can explain it, man. I use pain for passion that creates my purpose literally every single day of my life. And I think that's why we all work together, because there's going to be a lot of similarities between when we pass this thing around.
Well, I'm good, man. Like, I don't know. Like, my passion, because I just want to be the best. Like, that might
Where does
sound-
that come from?
Sports. You know, like, my childhood was mediocre. You know, like, there's a lot of things that I won't unpack, but sports, man. Like, you want to be the best. You want to be the champion. And then when my parents got divorced, sports kind of went downhill because I went downhill. I was like, school ain't shit. Sports ain't shit. This coach ain't shit. This team ain't going nowhere. Dropped out of high school. And then my grandfather looked at me and said, you're going to be homeless, living under a bridge. You ain't going to be shit. He's like, you're going to beg me for money. I was like, that was my 18th birthday, by the way. Context,
Though, your grandfather was a successful businessman.
Very successful businessman. I joined the Navy. I went and signed up for the Navy the next day. I was like, you know what, fuck this guy. I was like, I'm not going to be a restaurant owner. I'm going to join the Navy, and that's it. I'm just going to go take off, travel the world. Met my first wife. Was told not to marry her. Married her anyways. That lasted a while. Then that shit was gone. But even with the Navy, I wasn't ever... Everybody used to tell me, this ain't your spot. This ain't your lane. Like, you're good at working, but this
great at
ain't
getting
you.
the job done, but you just don't... a lot like me, I played the game a little more than you, but you don't like listening to people that are just talking out of their ass.
That's, to me,
I cannot see you as a sailor. I'm sorry. I just can't.
Trust me, a lot of people...
knowing
He said, trust me, a lot of people couldn't. But here's the thing, though, is that if you wanted something done at his work center...
I worked.
That was, you went to him. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of people in the Navy like that.
Yes.
They get away with a lot of stuff because they're
great at their
just
job.
expert technicians.
Yes,
Right.
but he's not going to kiss your ass and brown nose and,
I had a...
like...
I had an attitude problem.
You think?
Well, but also you're talking about
passionate.
somebody who's going through a divorce that just got home from deployment, and there's things happening in his household. Like you said, you're not going to unpack everything here,
No,
but
I had
I have an intimate knowledge of that time.
I've had, when I deployed, when I was getting divorced, the Navy said the best thing for you was to deploy.
Crazy.
I was like, oh, okay, cool. I had cameras on my house, all over my house. The cameras would get unplugged. People would be running to my house. There'd be drugs in my house. I'm sending friends over to go.
So he's dealing with this, and
Right.
nobody that's leading him
Right.
is helping him.
Now I met Jackie. That was dope.
So out of the
So
It's
out of all
always
the
a
crap,
reason.
like I went there, I met Jackie. I unpacked on her fast as shit. I think honestly, if she's on here, she'll laugh. But I told her I loved her when I was drunk, like the third night me and her hung out.
damn.
And literally though,
Jackie cool as shit though.
but we've been together ever since.
Yeah.
She was going through a breakup at the time. I was going through my breakup. She was like, I don't want to be with anybody for real. This is fun. Let's keep it that way. And then
So you
I
turn
brought her
pain
ice cream and told her I
to
loved her when I was
passion
drunk.
to purpose.
Right.
Right there's an example.
And then I got into real
Absolutely.
estate. Literally, I came back. Me and Mike talked. I was like, I'm gonna go. I need something to do because she was helping me pay child support. Well, I was broke.
Writer.
Broke. And I was like, Mike, I'm getting my license.
And you know me, I'm like, bet, bro. I'll teach you everything I know, man.
And and she's been the rock, man. Like
Dope.
she's not super Jackie. I mean, she's my super Jackie, but she doesn't take care of a farm.
Nah, Super
but
Steve.
she does work at Norfolk at the
She does.
Centera and ER, right? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, but and that
But
was
is she a farmer?
she's not a farmer.
but she was an air crewman.
She wasn't air crew.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, Jackie's got a resume, bro.
Yeah.
I mess with Jackie, but I'm
it's-
just saying.
it's funny
Super
though.
Steve's another level.
whole next level, bro.
Teaching kids. Farming.
65 animals and shit. Yeah. No, but I
Facts.
mean, like, she supported me with the dream for so long that, when she said, okay, I want to go back to school, for 4 years, she didn't work. Go to school. You took care of me. You held me down. And it goes into the family. I told her I wanted to accomplish certain things. She's been there. When I fell down, she was there to tell me, stop being a bitch, get up. I don't need someone to say, oh, it's going to be okay. No,
Yeah.
you're being a bitch.
Did she say
but
that
I-
or stop being
I have one.
emotional?
I have to add something to this though, because it wasn't ever just supporting you either.
No.
She supported Bam.
Yeah.
When I went through my divorce, she stayed very neutral. She was friends with my ex-wife. They gave me a place to stay. I was sleeping on his couch. Right after I was sleeping on their couch while I was teaching him how to do contracts or whatever. Right. That was like the engagement. Like, bro, I'll give you the game. I'm thankful for
That was
having
a good move, Eric.
bro, but also for me, right? Like, if I didn't remove myself from a situation or put myself around good people, which, if you don't know Jackie, she's a phenomenal person. Like, you're not going to go hungry. Yeah. You're going to be offered a drink and a blanket, kind of, just that hospitality of being humane. They would let me bring my children and my pets to their house. Like, I had a whole family, bro. You know what I'm saying? I had 2 dogs, 2 kids. I'm a single dad with nowhere to lay my head at night. That's where I was, on Eric's couch. So when people look at the dynamic of the team we started or the company that we're at now, they have no clue. It was just 2 dudes who just went through divorces and separated from the Navy in the hardest times of their adult life that became Iron Valley Real Estate.
Everybody has their divorce ribbons, right?
Yeah, y'all do
We're all
too.
wearing them. No, but I mean, but that's the thing.
don't-
And
we're
then,
not
like,
talking about
ultimately,
that.
like, we all want our, like, for me, I know you guys want the same thing. Even that meeting we had earlier, like, the whole goal is that I can call and say, I need your help, or something happens to you, we're there. Not a Facebook post, not a bring my homie back, but like, there to be there. Like, all my companies I ever set up in the future from now on is gonna be the same way. Like, the people I want surrounding me are gonna be the same family oriented, disruptive, weird relationships where we get angry and then we're happy and we move on. Like, it's gonna be part of it.
It has to be like
know.
that. We're all strong in different areas, and it has to be at least some contention, right?
Right.
Because we need different perspectives at some point. You know what I mean?
Ultimately, you just have to respect each other and
Correct.
But
You know.
but ultimately,
Everybody brings something.
at the end of it all, like, when we do leave, who's going to take this over? I want to leave something for the kids. Like, that is what's driving me now is, it's funny because now that the kids are with me all the time, having conversations. That Brooke is still very, I love her anyways, but she's very Brooke, but Brandon.
She a young Eric.
She's a young Eric. She's 100% probably. The hair came off and it was like stuck onto her for real. But Brandon, like,
She doesn't like listening to authority.
no, she doesn't. No, she's me.
Gotcha.
Like,
Yeah.
She's your karma, bro.
yeah, she's karma for real. But Brandon, like, he came and had an interview with me yesterday for a job. Like, not, Dad, I want to come work with you. Pay me. Like, sat down, interview. What are you good at? What can we work at? What are your strong points, your weak points? Let's develop you into something.
Yeah.
And that's dope for me. Like,
That's
that's
dope.
super dope.
Absolutely.
That's dope.
How old is he now? Is he?
16.
I thought he'd
Yeah,
be close to
15.
16.
Yeah.
AJ just turned 16 2 days ago, so
But that's what I want. By the end of it, like, I want to say, okay, here, I had it, you got it.
Absolutely.
Now let me go sit on the beach and drink a Mai Tai somewhere.
Well, now we're getting to the teddy bear. Big Poppy over here.
Make sure it's focused.
So let me click his face.
Yeah.
No, I mean, honestly, was it you did a Mindset Monday? You invited me over there, and he invited me there because he wanted to talk about the why. Honestly, I never really thought about it much.
Your
before.
why personally?
My why, yeah,
Okay.
I really didn't. I was just doing things, just like as a man, I just feel like I have to do it.
Right.
That's just my culture as a Mexican dude. I was raised by machismo, men, shut the fuck up, get to work, no excuses.
We all built different anyways.
And
Yeah.
then I started thinking about it when he invited me. And he invited me because he's like, you know what? You're one of the only people I know that's actually doing it. Like, I pay for my mom's bills, and she's pretty much retired. But she is watching my kids, but I am an only child. And I was like, nah, man, that's not my why. He didn't know it at the time, and I was like, no, honestly, it's similar to your story. It's just like, I got my wife who held me down when I was down and out. Shit, even when I was in the Navy in restriction for 45 days, she was there every day visiting me.
Yeah.
Every day.
Dope.
And then, but going back to just before I get to that part, it was a lot of people don't know, and I never really put this out there. They just assume because of the way I look, right? Yes, my dad was in the cartel for real, and my mom was working all day, so she wasn't around. My dad's not around,
Yeah.
so I'm just raising myself.
You're a leader of one. You're
I'm
growing
and
up
I have no
as a
brothers,
child.
no
Yeah.
sisters. I just
So
got
you
my
just
cousins,
got to be independent
and I'm just out there.
But you're big like two people.
Build like two people.
So you're never lonely.
Here comes the joke.
so you're never lonely.
The two of you sitting there on camera is actually kind of funny.
Yeah. They say Mexicans are small, but look at Puerto Ricans. Right?
Yo, no, nah.
No, but like all day I'm by myself, so I started working, and in LA it's just a different type of work. I'll just put it that way. So grew up fast, had my first kid young, and
16?
that really
16?
16,
Yeah, that's young, bro.
and then I turned
19.
16 when she had her.
Wow.
So
So you was fucking at 8?
I was early, junior high.
Out of control. Edgar been living his peak life since the summer of 15.
That's because he came out. He was 5 years old.
Here we go. Oh my goodness.
Man, that's what happens when you're home alone.
He said,
Hey, look.
point.
That is a good point.
Hey,
He
well,
said he came out. He was 5 years
but
old.
that was like the turning point, right? And it was like, okay, I need to get the fuck out of here. Joined the Navy as soon as I could at 18, whenever other shit happened. But thought I was leaving LA. Fast forward to when I meet Cookie, I'm going through a divorce. And I'm down and out because that pride kicks in. I was like, I'm not going back home. Fuck it. I'd rather sleep in my car. Just not gonna be anywhere around here. And when he brought that subject up and he invited me to that, and I was like, nah, man. Honestly, my why is not really my children. It's cool to leave that legacy, something. Them motherfuckers are gonna move.
Right.
They're gonna leave us.
Right.
The only one that's gonna be here by my side, who I chose, is my wife.
100%.
That's my why. And that kind of became like, nah, that's the drive. Like, let's really rock this, and to the end of times, we're gonna get to watch those guys grow up, marry, have kids, all that. We're gonna get to enjoy that, but we're not gonna be with them. They won't be with us. That's the reality. Yeah. And whatever we do, we do.
Yep.
And I tell my boys, I tell them all the time, it's like, hey, man, you know, when they start getting a little snarky, I was like, hey, that's your mom, but that's my wife. I will fuck you up.
You imagine you're 5 years old. Edgar is like,
I thought he was gonna say, I'd be telling them, hey, you're getting out at 18. I thought that's where that was going.
Nope.
I'm like, brother, like 5. Chill out.
Bob, I'm like, wow, I'm out. No, but that kind of became the drive now. It's just like, okay, what are we going to do? You know?
right. So what does that mean, though, for, I guess, for you and Cookie together then? What's the purpose in doing all this?
The purpose in all of this is like, look, we were stuck in that, basically that mentality of work hard, study hard, you know, the American dream, which is not true in a sense.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we really need to put time into ourselves and our business.
Right. Instead of like learning
Somebody
something and
else.
going and getting a job.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, we're late in the game, but it's like, it's not late really, right? Like I was given an opportunity now, and it's like,
And she's retired right at the same time.
retired, she's got the time, she's my support, and it's like, let's go until whenever. Like, let's be honest, nobody really retires unless they give up.
Most people, like, it's funny because, like, I remember, like, vividly talking to my grandfather about it. I'm like, when do you retire? And he was like, well, if you retire, you're dying.
Yeah,
And
that's what I
literally,
said.
he closed his last business down, and then within 2 years, he was gone. Because,
Well, fuck, guys.
Well,
No,
no, but
no.
it goes into the purpose.
like,
When you start living life without purpose, what else are you here for?
right.
Yeah, the purpose is like, obviously we want to build this thing wherever this goes, right? This is going to be built as we go, but for us as a relationship, we're on the ride together.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we're leaving,
Enjoying that
and
journey,
enjoying.
that journey together, to getting that time.
Yeah,
Well,
look, we're going to Cancun, we're going to PA, we're
Well,
going
you gotta
to
celebrate it while you're doing
so,
it.
Canada,
but look
like-
at the purpose then. So the purpose is really freedom and helping other people achieve that. I think that's what we're all really doing.
Yeah, everything that we leave, that we say we leave for the children to take over. As we build it, we're going to be helping those people. There's no fucking way we're going to be successful without helping anybody else.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ain't no fucking.
I ain't leaving them shit. I'm enjoying everything.
You're that saying, like, no
That's
U-Haul
how I
behind a
feel.
hearse.
Hey, what if you don't
Everyone's
like?
I'm
What if you
getting
don't like
buried
their
in the U-Haul.
spouse?
Right, yo.
What if you don't like their
Exactly.
Like, nah, man. Look, man, I'm gonna tell you, I will leave them something, but I am going to enjoy most of it.
You should.
So, but you can outline that though. That's why I did the trust, because you have power to do certain things, right? So it could be AJ has authorization to this if they've accomplished this, and this by this age.
Yeah.
Jackson can get this if he meets these metrics that he told me about when he was 10, 13, 15, 17 years old. Like, I just don't
So-
I'm not going to allow my kids to just talk shit. Make a goalpost.
Well, I mean,
you
that's where
can
we
get a
got
piece of
stumped on that.
something.
Yeah.
We really need to think about that. Like, honestly, when we were like thinking about that, it's like, fuck, where did we both go? Like, okay, what's at this? Because our kids are all young, right?
Yeah.
Minus Edwin's a grandpa, but
Here we go.
you know.
I got one young one, really. AJ and Elijah.
But no,
are
when you
almost
start
out.
thinking about it, it's like, damn, how do we really like structure this?
right.
and it's based on
But
the
when,
individual.
but when
like,
we pass away, also, it's also like, who gives a fuck at that point? It's like,
Yeah.
they could fuck up their own lives, right?
but oh well.
What do I know?
at the
You
end of the
always
day-
But
go
what do
the
I
other
know?
way where I think
So,
you're going.
listen,
I'm
because
gone.
because they're going to make the choices they make, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
But if I can at least leave a blueprint or just the feeling, I just want to restore the feelings that I didn't have, bro. If when I leave, my kids know Dad was a good man. He did what was in the best interest of everybody around him at all times. And it doesn't have to mean like I'm leaving them like they're going to be rich, but maybe I just cover a down payment on a house or
it's not monetarily.
You know what I mean?
Let's be honest. It's not monetarily.
No, I want it to fit into life. You know, and that's
what I'm getting. The monetary stuff, and let's make it clear, the monetary stuff is just a plus, right? If you leave good humans, like raise them right and leave them out for society because that's what you're doing. You're training people
to go out and live a life,
be a good human.
Yeah.
Just to be a good human and just be out there in society,
but also not be naive. And it's hard.
And there ain't no fucking way these kids can say we're bad parents, right? Like, ain't no fucking way.
Ask a 13-year-old little girl.
Bro.
She'll tell you. She might tell you differently right now.
Right.
No, I mean, but I tell the kids all the time. I'm like, I'm not here to be your fucking friend. Like, I'm not. I'm here to teach you to be a good human.
Yeah.
And I'm here to at least try to put some kind of drive and fire in your soul too.
Which is purpose,
Right?
passion, purpose. Like
I know me and
you're
Jackie
here
will
for
one
a
day
reason.
we'll have a D1 athlete someday. We'll just keep popping them out until we find one.
Yeah.
Is that you and Jackie have a contract on that?
Yeah, we have a
No, like honestly, now it's like Cookie's retired. Like we could do whatever the fuck we want. Like there is
Don't have no
time,
kids, bro.
no time constraint.
Yeah.
Don't go out there and start having fucking kids, bro. You old.
He has to throw it over.
So, but to the business thing though, I mean, you guys all know my wife is a business owner. She runs a restaurant, and it is pretty cool to see like her son works there.
Yeah.
Her niece works there. Her brother will pick up shifts there. Her best friend works there. You know what I mean? So it's like you can also, the whole time you're running a business, you're building a sense of community. And the people around you have purpose. So what I'm getting at is it's actually more likely than any of you think that our children follow in our footsteps because they're seeing a good blueprint. Yeah. They would be plugged into something that already has success. And for a young kid who doesn't really know what they're going to do, like, her son, he's exploring different things, but he's picking up shifts there, right? But he wants to do other stuff. There's like always going to be that opportunity.
Correct.
Yeah, no, we have dinners now together, right? Like that's something we implemented, but we have that normal ass conversation of what do you want to be when you grow up, right? And the 5-year-old was like, I want to sell real estate.
See? Because
so he's watching. He's really
watching you live your best life, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
And he tells his grandma because and this is just a quick story. It's like, grandma got there. I want ice cream, right? That's her baby. Grandma doesn't have money for ice cream, right? She's trying not to like take them out because she's got to wait for the kids to get them from the school bus.
Right.
He's like, well, you should do what daddy does so you have money because you're poor right now.
Oh my goodness.
That's your son. Like,
You're out.
but yeah. But I'm gonna
mean-
tell you, it's super cool though, having Taina work with me. You know what I mean? Like it is like seeing her kind of do her own things, and
You guys are just proving us all right now. Your daughter's already working with you.
yeah.
Your son already said he wants to do it. Your son just interviewed with you. You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's the new generation, right? When we're looking like that old company, is like, it's y'all need to like, just move aside.
need
That's
you
what
to-
they're gonna say.
Oh, it's
But
These old
regardless, you could argue that all of us, and most humans in general, the things that we've experienced that gave us pain, if you can get past that temporary pain and gather, refocus, and recalibrate and learn from those lessons, and then you can turn it into passion towards your purpose. So for all of us, it sounds like we wanted freedom and we wanted to be better fathers than the ones we had.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I would say we've done a damn good job of accomplishing that.
I agree.
So if you want to see the next episode of the Your Peak Life podcast, click the link below. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate
All
it.
right.